As part of the new segment to the show called the Compass Literature Corner, we will be talking to local authors and writers who have had an impact on this region, or whom this region has had an impact on. Today, we have a woman who has found inspiration in every state she's lived in, whether it's nature or life's little situations. She has the talent for painting a picture with her poetry that puts you right into the scene with the simplicity of only a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that today's guest is Morris resident Athena Kilgard. Athena, welcome.
Thank you, Laura Kay.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit about your newest book, Ventriloquy?
Great, thanks. So Ventriloquy is a book that brings together 4 different poem sequences. So the first poem sequence is all about flowers, and it's sort of imagining the mythical life of flowers, if you will. The second sequence is all poems about saints, and these are imagined saints. So we have the saint of oil, and we have the saint of big data. We have lots of different saints, but I'm just imagining them.
Modern day saint.
Yeah, more modern day saints, I would say. Yeah. So I'm using some of the ideas from, the traditional saint stories about saints in the Catholic Church, and reimagining them. So then the third sequence in the book is a sequence called Divination, in which it's sort of thinking about human characters and what makes people tick as human beings. And then the last sequence is completely different. That's a sequence that's called Still Life with Universe. So all of those poems imagine paintings, and so they're poems about these imagined paintings.
Wow. So how did you decide which 4 themes to write about?
Yeah, so each of the poem sequences started completely differently, and I didn't have, as I was writing them, I wasn't imagining this book, and it was only after I had the 4 sequences and I knew that they were all finished that I realized they had some things in common and would fit together in one book. So there's a different story for each poem sequence and how it got started.
Well, and this is your 4th book of poetry. So how does it differ from your other books? Because it almost seems like it's 4 books in one, with the 4 different sections in it.
Right. Yep. So my first book is called Rare Momentum, and that's all poems that are called Fibonacci's. So it's a certain formal kind of poem, and they all follow that same form. So that's something I've always been interested in, is formal poetry, and writing the same form over and over again and seeing where you can take it. So the poems in this book, Ventriloquy, the flower poems and the divination poems and the still life poems, each sequence has its own form that the poems are following. So that's something I've been thinking about for a long time. Then my second book is called Bodies of Light, and those are all lyric poems, and they're about bodies, and they're about passage through time, and so they're not all formally alike. Then my most recent book before Ventriloquy is a book called Cloves and Honey, and that's a book that grew out of a project in which I wrote a love poem every day for a year. Yeah, so there aren't 365 poems in the book. A lot of the poems got thrown away, but every poems they do all sorts of different things.
Well, where can we find your books? Amazon for sure.
Amazon for sure. This book is published by a new publishing house in Minnesota called Tinderbox Editions, and you can go online there and buy it. Or in Morris, where I live, the Prairie Renaissance Cultural Alliance, our arts organization, sells it. And I teach at the University of Minnesota Morris, and the bookstore there has it too.
Pick up your copy of Ventriloquy. That's it for us in the Compass Literature Corner. Please tune in next week for more people, places, and issues facing our viewing area. I'm Pioneer's Laura Kay Prosser, And may your compass always point you in the direction of a good book.
Major support for Compass is provided by the ongoing support of the Leo P. Flynn Estate of Millbank, South Dakota. Additional support is provided by the Southwest Minnesota Private Industry Council, promoting Southwest Minnesota as a place rich with opportunity. Come for the jobs, stay for the lifestyle. More information at swmnpic.org.